好的，
会
我的声音是听得到吗？可以吧？
OK OK，我先看一下，就是真的有没有上去。
我可以用酷放声音，你讲话一下。我可以用酷放声音，你讲话一下。
OK，没问题，可以先关镜头了。
哦，关好吗？
就看你，我们可以先让社区准备一下。
哦，
OK，
我关静啊。
啊，
好。哦，可以了。我随时 OK。
Alright, alright，好，OK。So, hi everyone. Thank you so much to join this community call. And I think today we are pretty honored to have our CEO, HAG CEO Harvey, as our speaker in our community call. I think this is especially, fortunate for the investor like you guys, since though, if you invest in traditional company, you might only see CEO one time per year in a shareholders meeting. But I think we don't like that. We want to make everything transparent, and I think Harvey is especially passionate, want to share some good news and his thought to our community. And first of all, thank you so much to join this community call again every time on the weekends. And please leave your questions in any language in a live chat or DM us. I think we could answer you in live. So that's especially good. So yeah, I think today's our main topic is to have some talk with our CEO. I think Harvey is especially professional in our traditional finance and Bitcoin mining as well. So today, I think we are pretty honored, and I think you are also pretty exciting to learn more about Harvey's background and his thoughts about mining industry, and also his thought about traditional finance and macroeconomy conditions. So I think first thing first, I think I would like to first give the floor to the Harvey to share his thoughts, his background, and some brief introduction to all of the community members. Please, Harvey.
Thank you, Joe. Ohio, everyone. I'm Harvey. This is Harvey from HAG, and it's a great honor to join this call. And something about myself. So my background is more traditional. So I was working for Nomura's fixed income team for 3 years. So in the team, I was responsible for the sovereign bond, investment grade bond, and also high yield bonds. So it's pretty similar to HAG products. So it's periodically different pace. And so I know this product well. So afterward, I joined SoftBank in their venture arms investment in healthcare industries. And in 2018, and I know Bitcoin, and I found this very fascinating. So in the beginning, I investment in Bitman to know more about Bitcoin mining. And afterward, I found this very attractive. So I start joining the Bitcoin mining industry, start to mine Bitcoin in China. And afterward, because the policy changed, and so we moved our mining pool to states. So our team is more like a seasonal teams, and we have been through one halving cycles. So and also, we found that Bitcoin mining is something very attractive, but at the same time, it's very difficult for normal people to join. That's why we create HAG, and I want to thank you all to join us and share the fascinating of this journey. Yeah, that's pretty much about myself.
Cool. Yeah, I think Harvey is especially important. I mean, in terms of his backgrounds, I think HUG what we do is the innovation between the traditional finance and also Bitcoin mining. So I think Harvey personally he get pretty attractive and robust backgrounds. So I think we just saw the milestone with community code in the previous community codes, and for the round one on the tranche two, I think we successfully closed about 476K plus investments, and we welcome like 20 to 30 investment from all around the world, and the completion rate is about 238%. So I think what do you think about that? So I think what anything you would like to share, or any like milestones I think, or some gratitude you would like to share with community, please.
Mm. First of all, I want to show my appreciation to HAG communities. It's your support to bring us here. And I will say that it's just a beginning. We still have a long way to go. And go Sinlai, aliados mas. And I really thank you for all the communities for this extraordinary journey. And there's three things I want to share at the same time. And first of all is about the investor profile sharing. So we have now around 130 investor now, and the OG number is around 20, and the total AUM is around 2 million. So that is to say our average investment is around 15,000 USD dollars. And our BTC output before halving is around 2.2 BTC per month, and after post halving is about 1.2 BTC per halving, and that's the profile of HG right now. And the second thing is about the trend. With the BTC ETF approved, we see the macro trend because I was in asset management before. We see the not only institution, but not only a retail investor, but also institution is holding this new asset class. We see that, for example, J.P. Morgan and JP, BNP Paribas, and also um, um, 0.72, etc. And also there's some of pension fund of states start to hold Bitcoin. And we think because this institution, their time horizon is very long, it means they will keep holding BTC into their portfolios. So we see we still see lots of potential of BTC the future. And also from the decentralized side, there's lots of like a Bitcoin layer 2 and layer 3 right now. And this kind of decentralized project will also benefit Bitcoin ecosystem in the future. And so I think second question is the question will be how much Bitcoin you hold when you kid or when you ask yourself.
Yes.
So for example, you see we see that Japanese yen depreciate a lot to against USD. So I would say that Bitcoin not only for institution but for retailers is a good way to defend the depreciation of your purchase power. And the third thing is about time horizon. Because we've been in the industry for since 2018, so I will encourage everyone. We don't want to our community member to investment in a lot of money in one round. But instead, I will say that for ordinary people, because I was working for, as I mentioned before, we there's a very one simple way to investment in asset that is dollar cost average. In a professional way is DCA, but you can think about your investment in a regular fixed income, amount of money into one asset class. So I will encourage you to increase your investment time horizons. In that ways, you won't like sell low and buy high. So in this way, you can accumulate this asset class in the long time and enjoy its appreciations. So if you believe in Bitcoin, I will encourage you to investment in HAG periodically and enjoy the appreciation.
Yeah, I think Harvey mentioned several good points. First, I think is about depreciation. It's about the value holding since yen is depreciate against the U.S. dollars, and by the way, U.S. dollar just depreciate against the BTC. So I think for like Japanese investors and also investors from different fiat currency holders, I think it's good for them to hold a Bitcoin to hedge against the depreciation. I think that's one, and I think Harvey also mentioned about DCA, right? And I think this is also what we continuously talking with our community members is about the power of the compounds. So if you try to DCA, you're not only getting the Bitcoins at comparatively low price, or you don't buy high, and what it means. And by the way, I think if you reinvest, your compound interest rate will be especially higher compared to the simple interest rate. I think those are the things that we continue talking with our community members. And I think one thing Harvey also mentioned about, especially in terms of your traditional financial background, is that lots of traditional financial institution, they are trying to embracing the tokenizations or RW tokenizations or security tokens area. We could see that the JP Morgans, they are trying to tokenize the assets, and BlackRock's they already invested in several like tokenization platform, and also the Goldman Sachs, they are also doing the same things. So I think I would like to bring this further a little bit. So since traditional financial institutions, they are embracing the tokenized RWA or security tokens. So what's your expectation about HAG and what the prospective part about HAG could be like in the future?
I think that's a very, very quick question. So about RWA, I will say the A is most important things. What kind of asset you are buying? So I will say that HAG is the best user case for RWA because first one is pretty BTC narrative. So the assets Bitcoin, I will say it's a double compound. You investment in good assets, and yeah, that's the best things. And secondly is we keep in our internal regular meeting, we keep talking about the increase our operation proficiency, efficiency, and also the most important thing is transparency. So because HAG, all the data is on chains, so you can see the real daily returns in your computer. So it's pretty transparent compared with other asset. Every day you can check your returns. And third thing is HAG is SEC filed, so it's pretty the most good thing is that we protect our investors. So I will say that it's we are the best user case and investment best asset.
Cool. Yeah, I think having mentioned some like good point by JG, we are SEC filing, and with our fully compliance, and also we are the double exposure to the BTC. That's the good points I have here. Since HAG, we have the Bitcoin mining hash rate as our fundamental assets, right? As our underlying asset. So HAG is deeply incorporated with the Bitcoin mining. So as a CEO of HAG, do you like to share anything you think interesting about the Bitcoin mining industry and anything you think HAG could perform differently compared to the participants in this Bitcoin mining industry?
Of course, as I mentioned, there's more and more like institution, pension fund, investment BTC right now. I think, but there's more than that. We see the trend. There's also governments or like a corporate interesting in Bitcoin mining as well. For example, the Salvador, they have successfully mining nearly 500 Bitcoin since 2021. They are utilizing their geothermal energy provided by the volcano in their countries. So I would say that the institution they are not only interested in buying Bitcoin, but now they start to think about okay, I should not only like investment in Bitcoin through their market price, but also like I should mine Bitcoin in their own ways. So not only El Salvador, but also we see some of the Middle East countries start to mine Bitcoin. That's a very interesting. However, for the second thing is for ordinary people, it's really hard to enter in this industry because it requires a lot of capital. If you want to investment in Bitcoin mining pool, it requires lots of money, and also you need a professional knowledge to operate the mining pools. So it's really difficult. So before we do these things, you can only investment if you are interested in Bitcoin mining, you can only investment in a listed U.S. companies. However, still the question, how much Bitcoin you hold? You investment in the right, but you don't get money. You still get a USD dollar, and USD dollar will in the long term it will depreciation. So I think it's still the question how much Bitcoin you will hold. So um, that's why we invent an HAG product for everyone's. And the third interesting thing is I've been in different Bitcoin conference. For example, the Bitcoin DevCons this year held in Hong Kong. And it's a really good event. Lots of like Bitcoin OGs they join these meetings, and I've like shared different thoughts with them and discussing about the Bitcoin future. And many of them they are very worried about the concentration of mining corporates because as I mentioned, it requires lots of capitals, and so in the long run, it will be like a more concentration in the Bitcoin industries. So it's something that they are worried about. So that's why we are here. We provide a retailer investor a way to enter these industries. So in the longer times, with the increase of our AUMs, we can we can negotiate a better electricity gas fees, and also we could like for example we can have our mining pool, and we can help to solve the concentration problem in the industries. So these are all very interesting point.
Oh, okay, got it. I think Harry mentioned several good points. It's like how much Bitcoin you have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe like for people who want to invest in Bitcoin mining company, they really want to hold the Bitcoins, right? And then they believe in the Bitcoin. But unfortunately, in the past, like no company give them the distribution in BTC or in a similar way like WBTC, like what we did. So I think that's a good point. And I think you mentioned about like yeah, we pretty understand that you got a busy schedule and you're flying around to attend different Bitcoin conference. So and that's could you like share some? I know that you are in Vietnam like this week as well, and also in Hong Kong like several weeks ago. So anything like any interesting things in terms of like concentration risk or any fun fact you would like to share with us, in during those conference, or like
Mm,
do you feel any
mm.
like comeback like any
Yeah,
institutional?
yeah. There's a very I would say the lots of still people is very passionate about Bitcoin or the crypto industry, and if something about ourselves, the Bitcoin mining, I would say that yeah, I want to talk about the what to expect. Um, and I would say that and because the software the money pool using now is the Stadium V1 version, and this version is very give the power to the mining pool instead of miner. So we expect that in the coming years, the mining pool will upgrade their mining software into V2 versions. In these versions, we get more power. Actually, gets more power, so we can decide what block we want to package, and we can instead of mining pool. For example, if there's a transactions, they will offer miners lots of gas fees. However, this gas fee may be like earned by the mining pool instead of miners. So if in the coming years the mining pool upgrade to V2, which I would think they will,
Okay.
because V2 version not only give the mining more power, but also it's more secure and give the more flexibility. You can benefit the miners. So I will say that everyone is expected. Yeah.
Cool, cool. And by the way, I think Harvey just shared some insightful information. Is that, as we mentioned many times, like Bitcoin miner, our revenue sources come from two ways. First is how the block rewards, and the second source is the reward to verify the transactions. So based on Harvey shares that if V2 is coming, like we could earn from the reward from verifying the transactions. There's a trend that even though the block reward is cut by half every 4 months, every 4 years, but the transaction fee, the gas fee that we earn, might be get higher and higher for some higher demands to the Bitcoin network. So I think this is pretty exciting. Is I think especially important because I believe our investor is so knowledgeable about like how do we make the money.
Yes, because in the past, everyone just treat Bitcoin as a way to storage their values. So there's no ecosystem. But we see the recent 2 years, and with the Bitcoin ecosystem growing, the Bitcoin layer 2 growing, there will be more transaction need. So in the past, we can only get from the block rewards, but now we can expect there will be increasing numbers of from the transaction fees.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's pretty exciting because Bitcoin is first you have to be decentralized, as mentioned it, Harry mentioned about, and second you want to have this kind of community code with all of you guys. Not one time, but several times in the coming months and coming weeks. So I think in the future we might have different speaker as well in this forum to talk about
Yes.
different things, right? It could be the Bitcoin mining, it could be Bitcoins, it could be different altcoins or different things, or like you mentioned about the Bitcoin ecosystem, right? So I think I think today we are pretty happy, and I think there's no questions popping up in live chat, but I think we welcome you guys to ask any questions. We are afraid of you don't asking any question. We are afraid that there's some misunderstanding between our teams and our investors. So I think that's in that. I think thank you, Harvey, and I think thank you for joining this community call. And again, thank you so much for the participants to share the time with us this morning. And yeah, I think this is pretty much for the day. Anything you want to share?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say I want to add the last point is as a like a Bitcoin participator since 2018, I really encourage everybody to accumulate Bitcoin in the lower cost. And in terms of us, we will do our best to return your trust. We will increase our operation efficiency, and we will also keep transparency to all of the HAG communities. And I want to thank you all, and thanks a lot.
Okay. Oh, by the way, there's a question popping up. Sorry. So here's the question: why isn't HAG listed on the Binance? So I think I could first share some brief questions, and then I think Harvey could have some summary. Since we are fully compliant, and like everyone know, like CZ has some hustle and bustle with the U.S. governments, right? So I think what we act differently compared to the different crypto that you see on the centralized crypto exchange is that SEC we are HAG we are SEC filing tokenized assets. So we need to be fully compliant in terms of the asset, in terms of our transparency, in terms of the process, in terms of the exchange that we listed. So that's why currently we cannot be listed on the Binance for the compliance reasons. So for INEX, our partners, they are fully licensed, and they got a transfer agent. They are fully licensed to distribute our WBTC to all the investors. So I think to briefly answer you, like at this moment of time, the compliance, the regulation environment, we are not able to do so. Right? And anything like Harvey you would like to add in terms of why we are not listed on the Binance?
Yeah, I think the question should be changed to why we are not listed in Nasdaq. because
Good one.
because it's SEC file. Yeah, it's a joke. But anyways, the why we list in Annex because it's a top three STO exchange around the world. So that's the best exchange we can gather under the SEC laws. So I think in the future, if we grow lots, Nasdaq is not a joke. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah,
it's not a joke. To be honest, like we are just like stocks, but we're
in terms of regulation ways. Yeah,
correct, exactly. Yeah, I think pretty like these questions. I think this is some questions that I think most investor will ask as well. And I think the points that Harvey just shared is that try to acquire the Bitcoins in at the average comparatively low price. It could be DCA, right? It could be investing in HAG and reinvest your WBTC kind of things. So
yes, I want to add the last point is that Joe shared the article this morning in the HAG communities, and I think that's a very good way to show the flexibility of Bitcoin mining industries. Is that if when the price of Bitcoin goes up, the returns of mining returns goes up more. So that's a pretty important ways that how to accumulate and your Bitcoin in the lowest ways. That shows the power of mining. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a secret, right? I think we share this secret and hope everyone can go through the mediums, the article on the mediums that we just posted. Yeah. think I think the timing is perfect. I think thank you so much for Harvey to
Thank
take
you.
some free time to with us.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
谢谢。
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all for this week, and look forward to seeing you guys in the next week in the next community call. Right. Thank you, Harvey.
Yeah. Looking forward to talking with everyone next week.